Hey everyone! I'd love to hear from you. What tool review would you like me to create an in-depth analysis video on? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and I will get started on making the most requested one. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as I upload trending tool insights.
You know what makes you stop scrolling? Numbers like this: Genspark. $100 million in fresh funding.
Wow.
And a valuation north of $500 million. So the immediate question for you, the one looking to stay ahead, is what is Genspark?
Yeah, and what's fascinating right out of the gate is how they're positioning it, this super agent AI, ready to tackle all sorts of daily tasks, like research, planning, building things, even making calls for you.
Making calls.
And they're really pushing the simplicity angle.
Yeah.
You know, no long sign-up drama, no pricey surprises.
Exactly. That makes the potential power and how easy they claim it.
Yeah.
That's what grabbed me. And I'm guessing it piqued your interest too.
For sure.
We've been digging into a hands-on review of Genspark, and that's really what we're exploring in this deep dive today. We want to figure out what's driving this buzz and, what makes it actually different in this crazy fast AI world.
Yeah, our mission here is to really dissect what Genspark can do. For you, someone who wants to quickly grasp what's actually important, we want to pull out the core value, the potential of this tool. Is it genuinely a step forward or maybe just another flash in the pan?
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. In simple terms, what exactly is Genspark AI?
Okay, so essentially, Genspark is a new AI tool designed to be your sort of all-purpose assistant.
Right.
For things like planning projects, writing documents, doing research, the stuff that often just eats up your time.
Yeah.
The review we looked at really emphasizes how it aims to offload the heavy lifting.
Heavy lifting. Like how?
Well, not just generating text. It can also create videos, images, do pretty in-depth research, and even make phone calls with its Call For Me feature.
Okay, that calling feature keeps coming up. Interesting.
It's like having a whole suite of specialized tools all in one place. They've got this all agents section where you can access them.
It's interesting. The review compared it to Manus AI.
It did, yeah.
What's the key difference there that we should, be aware of?
Well, the review points out Manus AI is another player, definitely. But a huge differentiator highlighted is just getting access. Genspark offers immediate access, and there's a free way to get started. Manus apparently has a wait list, and you have to pay right away.
Right, so that barrier to entry is much lower with Genspark.
Exactly. That immediate entry seems to be a core part of its appeal.
And this market for AI agents, it's not small potatoes, is it? I remember seeing some pretty big growth numbers.
Oh, absolutely. The review actually mentioned the market's growing at a compound annual growth rate of almost 45%.
Wow, 45%.
Yeah. That kind of crazy expansion really puts a spotlight on why there's so much attention and, frankly, money flowing into tools like this.
All right, so it sounds powerful, lots of features, but how does it actually do all this? What's the secret sauce behind the scenes?
Okay, this is where it gets kind of clever. Genspark isn't relying on just one, giant AI brain. Instead, they've built what they call a mixture of agents architecture.
Mixture of agents.
Okay, think of it like this. Instead of one person trying to do every job in a company, Genspark uses 8 different LLMs, large language models.
8, okay.
Yeah, these are the core thinking engines trained on tons of data. And crucially, each one is specifically fine-tuned for particular types of tasks.
So specialized models.
Exactly. So what this means for you is instead of one AI trying to be good at everything, and often, falling short,
right,
Genspark is leveraging specialized brains for each job. That should lead to more accurate, more efficient results for different things, like research versus, say, creative writing.
8 different models working together.
Right.
Sounds like it could get complicated. How does it coordinate all that?
Good question. That's where their built-in orchestrator comes in.
Orchestrator.
Yeah, imagine a project manager who knows everyone's strengths on the team.
Okay.
When you give Genspark a task, this orchestrator breaks it down into smaller bits, subtasks.
Right.
Then it intelligently assigns each subtask to the LLM that's best suited for it. And finally, it takes all those results from the specialists and pulls them together into one coherent output for you.
I see. That's a really smart approach.
It really is. It leverages the specific strengths instead of trying to be a jack of all trades.
That makes perfect sense. So it's more like a team of experts. Now, the review we looked at gave scores to some key features. What really stood out? What got high marks for innovation and usefulness?
Yeah, several features really shone, and the review did score them on innovation, utility, and implementation. Let's start with autonomous task planning.
Okay.
This is basically Genspark's ability to take a broad instruction from you and automatically break it down into a step-by-step plan. The review mentioned examples like planning a whole trip or creating a landing page from just a simple idea.
Wow.
This got an overall score of 8.7. So for you, this could mean way less time spent just outlining complex projects. The AI handles that initial structure.
That sounds like a huge time saver,
Right.
especially for those bigger multi-stage projects. What else really impressed the reviewer?
The feature that was really highlighted, kind of called out as a game changer, was real-time voice automation.
Right, the calling thing again.
So specifically the Call For Me feature. The example they used was asking Genspark to make a restaurant reservation.
Seriously, it can do that?
Apparently, yes. The AI would actually dial the number, speak to someone at the restaurant using an AI voice, confirm the booking, all while you're off doing something else.
That's kind of amazing. And a little scary.
Maybe a bit. It got a really high overall score of 9.0. Beyond just convenience, you have to wonder about the implications of AI being able to just autonomously interact like that in real time using voice.
Wow, that is next level. Not just text prompts, but actually interacting with the world through voice. Okay, what other features got high marks?
Multimedia content creation was another strong one, scored an 8.5 overall.
Multimedia.
Yeah.
That's video and stuff.
Exactly. Landing pages, videos, presentations. The reviews suggested this could be incredibly valuable for marketers, content creators, people who don't have the time or maybe the skills for complex design or video editing.
Okay, so planning, voice interaction, multimedia creation. What about keeping up with, what's happening now, current info?
Yeah, it offers live data research, which got an 8.2 overall.
Live data. So it searches the current web.
Right. It pulls current information from across the internet and organizes it into easy-to-read reports. Could be really useful for, say, tracking competitors or understanding market trends.
Okay.
And closely linked to that is direct API integration, also scored 8.2.
API integration.
Yeah.
What's the benefit there?
The key thing is, instead of just scraping websites, which can be messy and unreliable, Genspark can use direct data feeds APIs to get structured information. That generally means faster and more dependable results.
Got it. Faster, cleaner data. And finally, they highlighted the free access. How important is that?
Well, the fact that Genspark gives you 200 daily credits without needing to sign up right away, that's a pretty big deal for accessibility.
200 credits. That's like your daily usage limit.
Exactly. Your allowance for using the features. It lets anyone, from beginners to people just curious, try it out without committing to a subscription or even dealing with a waitlist.
Yeah, no friction to just test it.
Right. That scored an 8.3 overall, especially high on usefulness and how easy it makes getting started.
So we've got a good picture of what Genspark claims to do and its features. Now, let's look at how it actually performed. The review detailed trying it out on creating a landing page. What happened there?
Right, the real-world test. So for this one, the reviewer tasked Genspark with making a detailed landing page listing top AI code editors.
Okay, specific task.
Yeah, covering different types, web-based, desktop apps, VS Code extensions. They used Genspark Super Agent and gave it a prompt outlining the research needed, the desired structure.
So like if you needed to quickly pull together info on a specific topic.
Exactly that kind of task.
And did it work? Did it spit out a perfect landing page?
Well, Genspark did go out and gather info on various tools. It mentioned specific examples like Cursor, Codium, Type Error.
Okay.
It then organized these editors into categories and generated the complete HTML code for a landing page.
The actual code.
The actual code, yeah. The reviewer was pretty impressed that it correctly identified relevant tools, compared their features, even included pricing info. That's a fair bit of research and organization done automatically.
Sounds pretty efficient then. Any glitches? Where did it stumble?
Yeah, there were a couple of minor inaccuracies. It wrongly listed Cursor and Codium as web-based editors. They're actually desktop apps.
Ah, okay. Detail error.
Detail error, yeah. But the review also noted it correctly evaluated mobile compatibility for tools like Flutter, React Native, native apps, and it even added some helpful tips for users deciding between them.
So mostly good, but not flawless.
Exactly. The reviewer felt it provided a really comprehensive summary very quickly. But yeah, maybe don't fire your human assistant just yet.
Okay, a few small hiccups, but still sounds like a massive time saving. The review also briefly mentioned planning a trip to Turkey. What was that about?
Ah, the Turkey trip example. That was really just included to show the tool's versatility.
Right, not just for work stuff.
Exactly. It shows it's not just for professional tasks like landing pages, but could also be used for personal things like travel planning, like asking it for a basic itinerary for a week in Turkey. It demonstrates its potential usefulness across different parts of your life.
Gotcha, showcasing the range. Now, a big part of understanding any new tool is seeing how it, stacks up against the competition. The review drew some clear lines between Genspark and Manus AI. Beyond just getting access, what are the key differences we should know?
Yeah, the review had a really useful side-by-side comparison. We mentioned Access Genspark's free tier versus Manus's trial then paid model,
Right.
But also ease of use. Genspark is described as faster, more intuitive, less back-and-forth prompting needed compared to Manus, which apparently needs more detailed input from the user.
So potentially quicker results with Genspark if that's a priority.
Seems like it, yeah. If ease of use and speed matter to you, that's a point to consider.
What about the actual output? Like, say you want to create a website.
Genspark seems to have more robust features there. It's described as a full landing page builder.
With visuals and things.
Yeah, visual elements, calls to action. Manus, on the other hand, apparently provides a more basic layout, fewer customization options.
Okay, and speed difference there too.
Yeah, speed was another key point. Genspark reportedly builds full websites in about 15-20 minutes.
15 minutes, wow.
Which, according to the review, is significantly faster than Manus.
Interesting. And it sounds like Genspark has an edge with multimedia too.
Definitely. Genspark can generate short AI videos, different styles, and even convert YouTube videos into slide presentations.
YouTube to slides. That's neat.
Yeah. Features the review says Manus doesn't have. And of course, that call for me function. Based on this review, that's unique to Genspark in this comparison.
Okay. What about the tech underneath? The AI models themselves.
Genspark uses those 9 specialized LLMs we talked about.
Right, the mixture of agents.
Whereas Manus uses Qwen and Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Genspark also integrates with video platforms like Sora, Pika, Runway ML. Manus doesn't.
So different engines and different integrations.
Exactly. And those differences likely explain some of the capability variations.
Price is always key. How do their paid plans compare if you go beyond the free credits?
Well, Genspark's entry is free. Manus's basic plan starts at $39 a month.
Okay.
Even their paid plans are structured differently. The review suggested Genspark might offer more credits for less money, at least in their example scenario.
More bang for your buck, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. And finally, the review mentioned GAIA benchmark scores.
GAIA, those are AI tests, right?
Yeah, they test reasoning, factual recall. Genspark reportedly scored higher than Manus on both Level 3 and Level 2 tests, even higher than OpenAI's model in one instance mentioned.
Interesting benchmark results.
So the overall conclusion from the comparison seemed to be that Genspark packs a broader range of features into one platform.
So on paper, Genspark looks pretty compelling, but what are actual users saying? The review mentioned checking out Reddit.
Yeah, they did dive into Reddit to get a sense of the public vibe, and the general feeling seemed to be excitement mixed with a bit of caution.
Excitement and caution. Sounds about right for new AI.
Totally. Many users saw the huge potential. One user commented, "The first company to build a state-of-the-art AI agent like this is going to win big."
I praise.
Yeah, they were particularly hyped about the research, the video and image stuff, and that unique calling feature. Makes you wonder what other uses people will find.
But you said caution too. What were the reservations?
Exactly. Some users were uncertain about the long-term sustainability. Can an AI this advanced be a viable business long-term?
Fair question.
And there were more future-looking thoughts too. One comment was, it's only a matter of time before people build custom AI models that run on their own machines.
So anticipating more personalized, maybe offline AI down the road.
Right, suggesting this might be just one step towards something even more distributed.
And what about their website, genspark.ai? Is it getting traction?
According to the review, yeah, it saw a big jump in traffic and user engagement back in March 2025.
So people are checking it out.
Definitely suggests strong initial interest, lots of people visiting, probably trying out that free tier, which lines up with the buzz on places like Reddit.
Okay, so that's users. What about the people building it? The review looked at Glassdoor for employee feedback.
It did, and the Glassdoor feedback for Genspark was generally pretty positive. A 4.2 out of 5 rating.
That's pretty good.
And a high number, 85% of employees recommending it to others.
What did they like?
Highlights included helpful training programs, opportunities for career growth within the company, things like that.
Any downsides mentioned?
Yeah, some employees noted intense work schedules, demanding hours, and also what they felt were kind of moderate starting salaries.
Okay, so typical startup pressures maybe.
Could be. It gives you a bit more of a rounded picture of the company culture behind the tech.
So if we're weighing it all up, based on this review, what are the main pros and cons of Genspark?
In a nutshell,
Yeah.
The clear pros seem to be that really extensive feature set, especially that innovative voice calling,
Right.
the accessible free plan, the speed it can do tasks, and the generally positive early buzz from users and employees.
Yeah, and the cons.
Potential drawbacks mentioned were those occasional inaccuracies on complex tasks, like the landing page example, and those longer-term questions some users have about its business model viability.
With so many AI tools popping up, it's good to know the landscape. The review briefly mentioned some alternatives.
Yeah, just briefly. It touched on a few established players, mostly in the AI writing space.
Like who?
Jasper AI, noted for versatile writing and advanced language stuff. Rysor, highlighted for SEO-friendly content. WriteSonic, for generating written stuff quickly. And AnyWord, which uses data for predictive marketing copy.
So more focused tools, maybe.
Generally, yeah. They're worth looking at depending on your specific needs, but they probably don't offer the same breadth as Genspark, especially not that voice calling.
Makes sense. Finally, the review hit some FAQs, common questions about Genspark. What were the key takeaways there?
Pretty straightforward stuff. What's Genspark used for? Answer: everyday tasks, planning, writing, research, etc.
Right.
Can it actually save you time? Answer: yes, definitely, because it automates multi-step things.
Right.
Do you need tech skills? Answer: no, designed to be user-friendly.
Good to know.
And is the free version worth trying? Answer: absolutely yes. Best way to see what it can do firsthand, no commitment.
Okay, so to wrap up our deep dive here, what's the main insight, the key takeaway about Genspark?
I think the main takeaway is that Genspark really does look like a significant new player. It's offering a wider range of functions than a lot of typical AI assistants.
Yeah.
Its ability to handle complex multi-step tasks, get real-time info, and even do those voice calls really sets it apart.
Still early days, though.
Still early days, absolutely. But its innovative approach, combined with that accessible free plan, makes it a tool that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And maybe even trying out.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
And like the review suggested, the best way to really know what Genspark can do for you is to just test it yourself. Think about a task that eats up your time regularly and just see how Genspark handles it. You might find a new way to get things done faster.
Yeah, and that actually leads to an interesting thought to leave folks with. considering Genspark's unique mixture of agents approach and just how fast AI is moving.
Right.
What does the future look like for these specialized AI agents, both in our personal lives and for businesses? What new, maybe unexpected capabilities might pop up as these agents get even smarter and more interconnected? It's definitely a fascinating space to watch.